Sean, how are you?
I'm good. How are you, Greg?
Good, good. Thanks. This is a very, from a viewer's perspective, a very hard film to make. I think the key question is, how do you make a film that it by creative aesthetic has to feel claustrophobic, but at the same time, on the flip side, making it also visually dynamic and immersive for the viewer?
You cheat. You get a really great production designer who makes every angle of your set look absolutely beautiful. You find a cinematographer who you know is capable of capturing those images and elevating everything. And you get a cast who you never want to look away from.
Yeah, what was it like for you just to work with? Did you have a lot of time for rehearsals for this project? Because the actors you're working with, they're just on a top level, and they really keep the viewer really immersed in the whole storyline.
Oh, they kept me immersed in the whole thing. It was like they were doing things every day that were just surprising me and making things better. And we did, yeah, we rehearsed. So we had a week before we started shooting for rehearsals. We spent those first 2 days just like hanging out in a room, talking to each other, getting to know one another, which is really weird because none of us had been around people in like 9 months. So it was like really learning to be human again. And after that, we moved next door into a different building where we had the floor plan of the set taped out on the ground, like kind of Dogville style. And so we rehearsed and we watched the actors work within that space and kind of get to know each other and work physically, which actually led to us reshot listing the entire film over the course of those next 3 days, because what we'd envisioned they would do is not what they did, and what they did was much better. And then we were fortunate enough that finally the paint dried on our set. We were able to move to our set and do the last couple of days of rehearsal on the actual set itself. Everything changed again, and we had to completely reshot list again, because exactly that, the claustrophobia of the room and of those walls, and they feel like they're just closing in on you all the time. So yes, if we hadn't had that rehearsal time, I don't know what would have happened, because we learned so much and we really got to like figure out what the movie was.
Speaking about the space and what the movie was, I really appreciate as a viewer just to see a movie that doesn't spell everything out for the audience. Can you just talk about that leap and actually letting the audience become part of that storytelling experience without giving too much away? I really found a lot of the ambiguity to be really awesome in this film.
That really started with Max's novella that the script is based on, and his script. It allowed the reader and eventually the viewer, I think it respected them and said, like, no, you're intelligent, you've seen movies before, you've had experiences before, like, bring what you bring to this as well. It's a collaboration, right, between audience and filmmakers. And so we just kind of took that and built upon it.
I usually ask filmmakers and actors to name one of their all-time favorite movies. And specifically, what is it about this specific movie that still speaks to you as a cinephile and as a filmmaker today?
Similar, I'm going to say The Shining. Absolutely one of my favorite movies. I think that's another movie that lets the audience be a collaborator in experiencing what the story is. I think it doesn't over-explain things. I think it lets you go on this journey of these people's or this person's psychosis that is ever growing, and it leaves you thinking. You could not have seen The Shining in 20 years, and someone brings it up, you're still thinking about it.
Sean, thank you so much for your time. Really appreciate it and enjoy your film. Thank you.
All right. Thanks, Rick. Appreciate it.
Take care. Appreciate it.